2000 days. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Welcome to my second ever full movie experience. Today I'm taking you on the journey from 1000 days to 2000 days, compiling episodes 4 to 6 together and showing you the journey that took us here to 2000 days. You all seem to enjoy my last full movie experience, so I hope you enjoy it this time around as well. Also hope you've been enjoying the more consistent upload schedule. I've certainly been enjoying getting videos out for you all. But before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing if you do enjoy this video. And if you really enjoy, please consider becoming a member. By doing that, you'll get exclusive content, exclusive updates, member shoutouts, and much more. And also don't forget to check out my Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can get all the schematics I have. In other words, the blueprints for the builds that you see in these videos. Other than that, if you simply just watch the video, I appreciate you nonetheless. Now I'll quit yapping and get out of your hair. Enjoy the movie. Yeah. No. Okay, so listen. So far in the series we've built some really cool things, but there's also a lot of not so cool things. Most of the builds are pretty separate and there's a bunch of empty area between them, and there are imperfections everywhere. So today we are going to fix that by fixing my Minecraft Forever world, adding terrain, more builds, and connecting the world as a whole. And to do that, we have a whole shopping list full of things to do. So first things first, let's get started on the interior of the castle. As you can see, it looks quite messy at the moment, but at least it's already hollowed out. That makes it a little bit easier. Here are all of the materials we will be needing, and we're gonna get started with the cobble deep slate, as that is gonna be the flooring. Hopefully this door doesn't fall down. Ah, no. Yeah, it fell down, of course. Alright, that is the floor all done. Now we can start placing in the walls as well as some of the details. Okay, to start off, let's place in a frame for this door. Then we're gonna place some barrels along here, as well as some campfires, and then some scaffolding on the side, and then topping it off with some of the jungle trapdoors. Okay, so I have taken some time to dig the rest of this room out, and it's really starting to take shape. I've also been putting the rest of the floor as well as the walls in, and they are almost finished as well. And now there's just this little chunk left to dig out. So let me get that done real quick, and then we can start on the fun stuff. Okay, the base shape is in, and okay, wait, hold on. Let me just deal with the skeleton real quick. All right, as I was saying, the base shape is in and it's all looking pretty good. I got the roof in as well, and now it is all ready for the finer details. To start off, we are gonna add a big table here in the middle, and it's gonna be made out of dark oak as well as these tough, polished tough stairs as corners. As for the chairs, we are going to be adding the mangrove stairs all around, and then the doors as the back of the chair. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty good so far. Now for some gold pressure plates as some fancy plates, and then flower pots as cups. And with these last two composters to look like something, I don't really know, to be honest, we're all finished with this table. I think this looks quite nice. Moving on to the back of this main hall. So first up, we are going to build a sort of centerpiece here for the stairs. To be honest, this is something you could say doesn't really have a purpose, but I needed something in the middle, so I just added some barrels and chests as storage, and it ended up looking pretty nice. Next up on the list, we are going to build a throne, because, I mean, every castle needs a throne, right? And for this, we're just going to bring in some tough bricks. Then for the actual seating part, we're going to add some red wool and then a raw gold block at the top. And with just the last couple details here at the top, we are all done with the throne. I can definitely see myself sitting here. Okay, the throne is looking pretty good, and oh, what's going on here? Now we're going to dig this room out a little bit. We're going to first dig down, make a staircase into another room, which will be the actual map room. In other words, the room where we will have the actual world map. I'm thinking of having it as a big hallway where we, in the future, can expand it and have multiple maps showing the progress of how this world is going. Okay, the room is all dug out. Now we just need to get to detailing it. Starting off with some mangrove as the base of the pillars in the corners, then some of the mangrove stairs on top of that. And for the middle part of the pillar, we are using stripped mangrove logs. As for the map wall, we are going to bring in some warped wart blocks. And matching that, we're also going to use some of the stripped warped logs for the rest of the wall. And for the back of the wall where the map will be, we are also going to use some shroom lights to properly light the maps up. Okay, and that is pretty much it for the base components of this map room. Still need to get the roof in, but for now I am just going to copy this over to the other side. Alright, I am on my way back from getting the final components that we need to finish this map room. Just needed another chest here and of course a cartography table, which we will be needing for the maps. But other than that, the room is all finished. I copied the design over to the right side and finished off the roof as well. I left the back wall blank so that we can easily expand this for future maps as well. But for now, however, I want to get the first map in place, and to do that we need to... actually, what do we need to do? Right, okay, I figured out how to get the maps, and I was thinking if we establish the middle of the map, we can easily go off of that in the other directions. So I'm thinking that the middle can be right around here by the lumber mill. Now, if we just go in either direction, we will have a good baseline to go off of. Alright, as I was trying to put up the first few maps, I realized that I forgot the item frames, so let me take care of that real quick. Alright, that is a lot better. Now we can put in the first row of maps. Hello? It's not working. Is the item frame glitched or something? I can't even punch it. Oh, I can punch this one off. Hello? Oh, there we go. Just let me... Oh, finally, what? Okay, here we go. I figured out the strat. I know the strat. With the first few maps in as a guideline, we can easily finish this off. So I'm just gonna fly in some directions until we have all the maps we need. With the map all finished, and I think it's looking great by the way, we can swiftly move on to transforming this castle valley. Not much else to be said, let's start placing some blocks. And wow, this valley is looking fantastic. It is so much cleaner and makes so much more sense than before, if you know what I mean. And as you can see, I even included a path that will lead off to other projects, which I have actually started planning, but more on that in future episodes. With these two projects fully done and looking great, we can check two things off the list. This also means we can move on to the next project where I want to finish some interiors that I have left undone for far too long. And with that said, it is now time for Interiors with Twizzy. Yeah, let's do some interiors. Alright, with that nonsense out of the way, we are gonna start over here with the pumpkin farm. And the interior for this is going to be, well, I think I've mentioned before that it is a cafe of sorts, so we're definitely gonna model the interior based off of that. And oh boy, it is gonna be so nice to finally cover up this ugly farm. Starting off with the back of the room, we are gonna start by adding a collection system, which will be holding all our pumpkins, which they're currently overflowing. There's a lot of them. So these extra chests are gonna be really nice to have. The palette for this is going to be basalt and some deep slate, as you can see, really adding to this underground storagey kind of vibe. Working our way into the main room, the flooring is actually going to be the exact same palette, so once again using the basalt and the deep slate. Next up, I want to add a little staircase leading up to the door so that you don't immediately break your ankles when you walk through the door. Then we're also going to add some seating in the form of dark oak stairs, together with the fences, and then jungle trapdoors on top of that. And then also some planted pots in the corners in the form of cauldrons, some leaves, and then the pickles on the top. Finishing off the roof, we're actually gonna bring in some beehives and then the oak trap doors in between those. For the final part of this, we are gonna add a counter where you actually go to order your coffee or whatever. So we're just gonna build up a simple one here with some dark oak stairs and slabs, finishing it off with some bamboo pressure plates and a cup. and then an andesite stair in the corner to look like a register. If you're wondering what the oak logs in the back are, we're actually gonna put a sign on top saying menu, and then in the future I'll put in some item frames with pumpkins or some orange potions or something to look like pumpkin related drinks that we serve here. Okay, and with that we actually are done with the downstairs, so now we're just gonna quickly whip up the upstairs, which is sort of the dorm or like the living space of the people who work in the cafe. So first up, as you can see, we're building up this thing at the end of the room, which I don't really know what it is, but I needed something to cover up the pumpkins, and as you can see, the orange terracotta, which is decoration for the outside. And yeah, I just needed something to cover that up so it doesn't look as weird on the inside. So I came up with this thing that will have some just candles on it and stuff like that. Maybe it's a nightstand of sorts or like a shelf. But moving on from that, we also have the rest of the room, which is gonna be a compact little living area, as I mentioned. So we're gonna build up some bunk beds, for example, with these like pillars and or the bed ends, I guess you could call them, with some beds stacked on top of each other, and some signs to look like railings. And then other than that, we're just gonna have some details like some lanterns for lighting. At the back, we're gonna have a desk, which you can't really see in this frame, but it's just basically like a desk with a few slabs. I put a composter in and like a little plant. And I think I included some barrels and chests like that for storage. I guess if they're selling coffee and other drinks, then they would need some sort of storage. But that's pretty much it. That wraps it up, and we are finished with the pumpkin farm interior. I think this interior turned out great. Yeah, it looks really nice, really cozy. Oh yeah, and over here, as I mentioned, I will have some like menu items like pumpkins or an orange potion. And then of course back here, the main purpose, having much more storage for the pumpkin farm. This is gonna be really nice. It was, as I said, overflowing. I had like 2 chests, and yeah, that's gonna be a huge help. And then of course the upstairs as well. I think it turned out great as well. Like, it's a really compact little area, but I think I did well considering how little space I had. Although, what is this block doing up here? Why is this here? Oh, it's part of the outside. Of course the block fell down on the other side. Swiftly moving on, the pumpkin farm interior is now finished, and like I said, I think it looks great. Now we're gonna switch our attention to this fisherman's house right next to it. And this actually built back in like episode 1, really long ago. And this is actually where I kept this little guy, this little snowman. I've used him to get some like snow layers. I don't remember for what, but... Oh wait, yeah, actually it was when I needed the snow for the main base. Unfortunately, he cannot stay though, so we're gonna have to set him free. And come to think of it, I actually have a much better like snow kind of farm with another snow golem, so... Oh, I just turned around and he already left. He probably went for a walk. Alright, let's clean up the evidence and let's get started with this build. So for this interior, we are going quite simple. It is, like I said, a fisherman house, and he spends all his time fishing, so he will obviously need some place to cook it. So we're building up this island, I guess, of like some furnaces, smokers, where he can cook his fish and have a nice dinner. In the corner here, I just put down some barrels. I guess he needs a place to store his extra fish, or maybe his fishing supplies, like he needs some extra bait or a fishing rod. Whatever he needs to store, he can do it there. Next to that, I'm gonna put up some shelves in the form of just some spruce trap doors. And on the shelves, we just have some decorations, like I have this amethyst shard and then some couple flower pots with like an allium. And then I have some blue candles here as well for some decoration. Lighting, I mean, both. In the middle, I just have a simple dark oak table. He needs somewhere he can eat the fish. And then other than that, I just put the ceiling in. It's just a mix of the mangrove strip logs and some of the slabs as well. And then of course some lanterns for some extra lighting. Moving upstairs into the attic, this is actually where the fisherman sleeps because I couldn't really find any space down in the main room. As you saw, it's a really cramped area, so this was the best solution I could find. Starting off, I'm putting in the ceiling for this, which is just the same vibe as the rest of the building. It has like a deep slate trim and then the mangrove in between, which is now quickly covering up this view. So I'm gonna switch it real quick. There we go. This is a bit easier to see. Now it kind of skip past all the things I put in there, but it's really not that much. It's just some barrels, that's some extra storage, I guess, like, you know, a classic attic kind of thing. Along with that, some chests, some blue candles for lighting, and in the back you can see I added a bunk bed, a lot like the one we just did for the pumpkin interior. I guess if he has a friend over, then he has a second bed. Unless he doesn't need the second bed. Okay, before the sexual innuendos get out of hand, that's pretty much it for this interior, and that about wraps it up. Another interior complete, and I think this one is looking quite nice. Like I said, it's quite a cramped little area, but it has a really cozy vibe, and I think we did pretty well with it. Upstairs here, of course, we have the attic as mentioned, the sleeping area if you will, and even this has really Nice vibes. But yeah, I think we did really well with this interior. It really adds to the whole vibe of the Fisherman kind of thing. And now we're moving on from this over to this house over here. This is the farmhouse, also all the way back from episode 1, which we actually built also off cam, I believe, just like the Fisherman house. And if you didn't know, if you drop down here, this is actually where my sugarcane farm is. I think I mentioned this back in episode 3, yeah, last episode, but I don't think I showed it. I think I honestly forgot to edit it in, but yeah. Now it is time to spruce this place up, so let's get into it. A third interior in a row. I know I'm kind of getting sick of this as well, but don't worry, we'll make this a quick one. First up, we're sprucing up the little basement part here, which leads to the sugarcane farm. Basically just changing up the walls, and on the inside we're adding some like barrels and chests to look like one of those medieval, very old like crawl spaces that they had like on the outside of the house, just like you see here with a small little crawl space in. I think that was basically like a fridge in medieval times. Moving up to the main room, we have a little entrance here where we're gonna put in a table with of course some decorations on top, like some potted plants and stuff. Next to that we have a little wall partition. This is because we're gonna bring in a kitchen on the other side of this. So we're adding in a sort of kitchen counter, some of the deep slate walls here as some pipes, also a shelf with some flower pots and stuff, and of course some furnaces and sort of a stovetop. Right off to the side of that, we're adding in a dining table, kind of an interesting design with some anvils and trapdoors. Thought that looked pretty good. Right above that, we have like the staircase up leading to the door that leads to the balcony. And last but not least, to quickly finish this off, we have a little bedroom with a carpeted floor. Then added in some bookshelves and the chiseled, no, not the chisel, wait, they're chiseled, right? What are they called? The empty bookshelves, basically. To add some variation, like some empty books and stuff. Along with that, of course, a bed, a barrel like a nightstand, a potted plant, and then a little reading nook with a little chair and a sign and a lectern. With the third and last interior complete, we can move on up to here where we're going to be building a forest. This area has looked very empty and honestly really bad for a while now, so I finally want to fix that by adding a lot of trees, terraforming it a little bit to look a bit better, and just fixing up the area as a whole. To do this though, we need a lot of materials, and specifically we need hella spruce leaves. So we're gonna move on over here and massacre some of these spruce trees so we can get a lot of leaves and of course the actual spruce as well. All right, let's get chopping. Here we go. These are the things we're looking for. I think you need to shear. Okay, is it sheared? Shears, I mean, looks like it. Should have brought bone meal. Wait, I think I might have bone meal actually. Oh, I took it out of this box. Oh my god. Oh, there's some in here. Oh my god. Yeah, now I just have a flat surface to bone meal all this. Ah, it's tough being this smart sometimes. Wait, I could have just done this in the overworld, I just realized. Okay, that should be pretty much all the materials we will be needing. And without further ado, let's get this forest started. Wow, okay, that was a bit unexpected, huh? Let me know what you think about these, like, edits. Making these kind of crazy edits and stuff like that is something I really enjoy, so I tried incorporating it here, but I don't know, maybe it was a bit too out of place. Let me know in the comments. Regardless, it is now time to spruce up the area right above the forest, which is our industrial district, I guess? I don't know, maybe? I guess. Specifically, I want to transform the interior where the tree farms live, because currently it honestly kind of looks like caca. And yes, I know, yet another interior. No one is more sick of them than I, but trust me, believe, stay with me for just a bit, this one is worth it. Okay, and moving on to the interior of this tree farm, we are going to start first, actually we're going to start all the way out here, because here I want to put in a sort of, I don't know what you call it, an awning, a little outside ceiling. Basically, it's supposed to be a outside working area kind of thing, where if you can't tell, this is more of a industrial area, so we're gonna add a lot of things like stone cutters, blast furnaces, stuff like that. Starting off down here, we're gonna first add the support beams, if I can get on top of it. Nope, apparently not. Pretty simply, the deep slate walls as the base, and then some spruce fences as well. As for the roof here, I want to do sort of a striped pattern with spruce and this deep slate tile thing. Alright, something just like that will be perfect. Now just to add in a couple more support beams so that that one isn't holding this thing up on its own. Oh, alright, there we go. Actually, this one is a little bit in the way, I feel. I think I'm going to move this one out here. Oops. As for the actual workplace in here, at the back I want to come in with some campfires to look like shelves, which will be held up with some trap doors, and then a couple of slabs on top of that. Just a quick second, as I naturally forgot to bring spruce stairs, so I have to go get those real quick. Please have... oh, 2... that might be enough, actually. Hold up. Okay, here I want to place in one desk, or table, whatever you want to call it. Just like that, and I'll be adding some more details on top of it later. Just right now I'm lazy, so... and oh yeah, I totally need another staircase too, wasn't it? Okay, well, fantastic. Similarly, over here, I want to place in another one of these, as well as another slab, and then there will be a smoker here to, like, complete the table, but... yeah, there's some components I haven't gotten yet because they're too annoying to get. As for over here, we're going to place in some scaffolding instead of the campfires to also look like shelves, but we also need barrels, I realize. Hopefully I brought... yeah, I did. I want the barrels to be here on the side with some more trapdoors coming up along the top. All right, and something like that is a pretty cool little shelf as well. And right here, we're going to do something very similar, just a little bit of a smaller version. All right, and there we go. Other than the smaller details, I'll be adding on later at some point. We are all done with this little outside thing. Moving on quickly to the inside, which we're going to start here by changing out these ugly stone walls. And with a roof in and the rest of the walls almost filled in. This was kind of unnecessary. There's going to be something blocking it, so I left it like this. But here I'm just going to have like this outside storage area, I guess, where I'm going to place in some barrels, as well as include some campfires, of course extinguished. Actually, this one's not supposed to be there. And something like this with a couple of chests. I might alter this a little bit, but yeah, that's a general idea. I actually realized the thing I want to put in here does not block this wall, so I filled it in. As for this side, just like we did before, I just want to add in some shelves. This one will be in the shape of a couple... oh, not like that. But yeah, this one will be in the shape of the scaffolding with the same slabs on top and trapdoors along the sides. And over here, the campfires once again. And there we go. Just a nice little storagey outside area. Moving on to the inside area of the actual farms. I, of course, want to add in some flooring and roofs and stuff like that. But first, we have to get rid of this old beacon. This has literally been sitting here since the, what, second episode? Nice. Now all of that is out of the way. Currently on my way to collect 3 acacia logs, because I need 3 acacia logs. Yep, that's it. Very successful mission. Very good. I like it. Why do I sound like Donald Trump? So I finished off this hallway bit, as well as put in all of the flooring, making it a lot easier to know where the walls are going to go. And I have started putting in the floor... oh, that's not the floor. I have started putting in the walls over here, which is going to be a simple... basalt and the deep slate in the background, sort of to look like pillars. This is once again supposed to be very industrial and a bit grimy, and yeah, I think it really works. As for the rest of the walls around here, I'm going to start off with the mud bricks that will transition into some packed mud, and at the top we're going to finish off with some granite, really displaying where it kind of starts at the bottom as bricks and then has decayed or even fallen apart, I guess, over time. All right, and all the walls are in, and as you can see, we have a couple of holes here, and this is actually because I am going to bring in some pistons. Because if you can see, oh, that one's the wrong way. But yeah, this creates a really cool effect where it looks like a pipe in the middle, if you can tell. Now, this one is just going into the floor, but for example, over here, we're gonna make one that looks like it actually comes from a machine. And how are we gonna do this? Nope, there we go. Placing pistons the way we want them is the most annoying thing. Anyway, moving back to what I was talking about here, the pipe is looking like it's kind of, you know, twirling around here, and it's gonna be connected here to... I actually have to go get the materials for it. Yeah, as I was saying, we're going to place in actual looms because I feel like these look a bit like electrical generators or something, you know, like with a strings here. Very poor explanation on my part, but I think you get the idea. Clearly, my lingo is immaculate, as you can tell. Here, we're also going to place in the repeater and the redstone torch. And wait, isn't that supposed to light up? I guess it has to go into it, right? Ah, there we go. And now it looks like there's, yeah, well, some sort of... No. We are never mentioning that, you heard? I'm also realizing that it's getting pretty dark in here, so I want to be able to hang some lanterns, but to do that we need to get the ceiling in, and as you can see I'm actually using daylight sensors, because these create a really cool, like the bottom texture of it, because obviously the top isn't too cool, but the bottom texture brings in a very nice texture that kind of looks like chocolate. Alright, this is just typical. Here I am crafting up some dye, and I need 21 gray dye for 21 gray candles. And obviously, or like of course, I run out of white dye, and I have exactly 20 when I need 21. It's so typical. Like, of course it happens to me. It's every fucking time, and I'm so sick of it. I hate this game. I hate Mojang. I hate every... Ooh, okay, don't worry. I've calmed down, and let's refocus, shall we? Okay, moving on to the lighting. I know I said I was going to use the lanterns, but I figured that the candles here are going to add a much more eerie... I brought shears instead of a flint and steel, crazy. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the candles adds much more of an eerie ambiance to the place, which I think really fits the construction work kind of area we're building. With that being said, I do want to add in some chains, so it's not completely useless that we put the ceiling in. Here in the middle we are going to bring in a sort of workstation, so for that we're gonna have the auto crafters and the normal crafting tables in the middle, then also extend the table with a couple slabs and stairs like this, along with a little pressure plate as decoration and a flower pot with the pale oak sapling, also adding to that eerie creepy vibe. As for this table over here, we're gonna bring in an anvil, next to it a stone cutter, as well as some more lighting in the form of the gray candles. And here we're actually going to add in an item frame with a book and quill. And I have this data pack installed where I can make the item frame invisible. It does actually sink the item slightly down into the floor or whatever, but this makes it look like it's just lying on the table, which is pretty cool. Continuing with this interior, we are moving on to this adjacent room where we are building a forge, as well as some more storage here in the corner. This room is supposed to look a bit more like the behind the scenes working area, even though, I mean, I guess the front of it is as well, but here's where they do all the dirty work, and maybe they smithing, and there's a creeper, by the way. Awesome. At least it didn't blow up. Continuing on from that, we also have this hallway kind of thing where we actually added some of the oak trap doors, sort of symbolizing some type of windows that you can actually look out of and see the farms, the nether tree farm that's right next to here, for example. All in all, this part is pretty simple. It's just a hallway to lead you into the storage room, which we will be starting on next. Said storage room is also going to be I guess not as much of a work area, but it will have some stuff growing, like maybe you saw that we were growing some nether wart over in the other room. This I included here as well. Not really sure what it's supposed to represent, but I just imagine it's some sort of herb or something that they make use of. Other than that, we include the classic barrels, anvils, brewing stands, all of that. The stone cutters, of course, supposed to symbolize also maybe they have a work station over here as well. But most importantly, the chests in the back, a bunch of double chests, which eventually I'll hook up a sorting system to. Just haven't gotten around to that yet. I am very bad at redstone, as you may know. And did I not tell you it was worth it? I think this interior is fantastic. I know it may not be the craziest thing ever, but I think, especially because I'm so bad at interiors, this one really came out well. I really like the pipes, which I didn't come up with that, I will be honest, but yeah, you might have seen it on like Beat Up's channel or something. All in all, I think this area came out really well. It really fits the vibe that I was going for, of the kind of like construction, stoneworker, blacksmith type of vibe. And I really enjoyed the fact that there's small details everywhere. Really makes it so wherever you look, there's something interesting to look at. And of course, the storage room, where there will be a storage room eventually, like I mentioned, I believe. Because going down all the way here to these every single time is, I mean, it's not that bad, but it will be nice to have some sort of like maybe water elevator, bringing up all the items here, and then sorting them automatically into these chests. But we'll see when I get around to that. It's probably gonna be, yeah, I don't know, check in with me in a year or something. But yeah, this came out great, and I'm really happy with it. Now, this leads me into something that I missed earlier, which is this water wheel thing here. I just kind of forgot to build it as we were building the forest, and it's a much needed addition, as this side of the lumber mill was very empty. It was just a flat wall, so I just wanted to add in a little something, and since the river came through here, I was like, yeah, why not just a water wheel? I will also now show you a small time lapse of me building this. The most annoying thing was, of course, the copper, as it always is, but all in all, it did not take too long. Similarly, I also built a bridge connecting the top of the forest here to this piece of land over the valley where we can expand in the future. All right, this surrounding area is looking way better now. The bridge came out really good, and as well as the water wheel that we just added over here. Oop, nope. Now, only thing is I wanted this a bit more oxidized, which will, I guess, happen over time. I did not have the patience to put them all out in a field and just wait, so hopefully this will get a bit better over time. Of course, as I start recording this, it turns to night, but yeah, alright, let's sleep. And now, before we move on to making this area look a bit better, we are going to be moving on to this. If you remember all the way back in episode 2, we built the trading hall up here, and the staircase leads down. It looks pretty good, I would say, but this part here looks really whack. I don't know, it just looks really stupid. It looks like one of those little pizza topper tables that they have to like to make sure that the lid doesn't like hit the cheese. Yeah, it looks really dumb. And also the mountain, I'm not gonna transform the whole thing, but it looks not great either, so I'm gonna start by just a little bit now chipping away at it, making it a little bit more natural and stuff. So yeah, let's get started on that. I'm also going to be connecting it up to here, so there's more of a actual path to get up to the staircase. This is going to be a quick one, not a lot to build, but yeah, let's get into it. Coming down the staircase, this all looks way better now. Especially with the terraining done a little bit more, and this is coming down a lot more naturally. It looks so much better. With that being said, we can't actually see much of it now, so let's go out here. Yeah, the way it's structured now, it looks just so much more logical and makes so much more sense than before with, I don't know, I just had some stupid, like, just hole, like you saw it earlier. It looks so stupid. The only thing I would say is that on the map, it looks a little bit weird with this kind of shape going. It looks very thin. Like, technically, I guess it would need to go a bit more into the mountain and, like, not be as thin along this part, but hey, all in all, I'm not going to be looking at it from the map. I'll be looking at it from here, and from this angle, it looks pretty damn good. Oh! It almost made me spill my Coke Zero. Okay, moving on. Now we're moving back to this area. We jumped over here briefly to fix up the staircase and the path there, like I said. But now I want to focus our attention back to this part here, which has been an eyesore for ages. Well, since I started the world, pretty much. I've thought a lot about what I would do with this. Like, should I just fill it in and make it like just flat or like a more of a cliffside? Or should I lean into it being like a ravine and just like dig it further? And yeah, I've been back and forth, but ultimately I've decided this is going to be a river. Burp. And along with that, we're gonna have a waterfall here that will stem from this mountain range here. Not only that, but the river will divide around here somewhere and actually continue down here, where we're going to be making a bridge and making the terrain look a lot nicer down here as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get this started. I think it's going to look great. Well, I guess I know it looks great because I've already designed it. But without much further ado, let's start cutting down some trees. This area is coming together very nicely. As you can see, all the walls are in, or I guess we wouldn't call it walls, but cliffs, and as well as the river over here. I really like this palette with the mud being the bottom. It's going to look like a lot darker, a lot deeper than it actually is. As well as the foliage we have going on here makes it look very vibrant, and it will look a lot better in the future, or in a little bit we're going to add a little bridge here, which will tie this area together very nicely. And yeah, everything is looking pretty great, I would say. The only thing is this over here, I guess, which, hold on. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess. As you can see, there's definitely some plans for some cliffs here, as you might be able to tell. But that is actually going to come in a future episode. Then again, it does look pretty bad, so I might just put in these like at the bottom to make it look a little bit. We'll see. Back to this area, as I was saying, yeah, looks great. There's obviously one key component missing, as you might be able to tell. It is supposed to be a river, and there is no water. So we should probably put some water in. There are, however, some other details and components I want to add. For example, you can see this field that I've kind of started planting here. There's going to be a bit of a potato field here, which I think will bring this together quite nicely. And along with that, there's going to be a couple like small sheds here. I want to add some more foliage, and once the water is in, there'll be like drip leaves and lily pads and whatnot. And like I mentioned, the bridge over here, we're also going to be putting in. And that's pretty much it. Once we have those components in, we can call this project finished. So I guess where we should start is probably just putting in the potatoes here. Finish off this little hill of potatoes, I guess. I don't have a good name for it yet, as you can tell. So yeah, let's grab some potatoes and let's get this started. Alright, the field is in and it is looking way better with it all. Jesus Christ, why can't I fly right now? But yeah, it's looking way better. I would like having something here in the middle. It was looking very empty and now it really ties this building into like the rest of the land. But yeah, with that finished, we can add in, well, one of the most important parts. We're just gonna need some more buckets for that. But yeah, we're gonna add in the water to the river and let's see how this goes. Okay, not a bad start. Not a great start either, though. Let's see if we can grab some more water and maybe make a infinite water source over here to use. There we go. Alright, this side is coming together a lot more nicely. Now let's see if we can do the same thing for this part over here. Water can be a very annoying thing in Minecraft, but right now I don't want to jinx it, but it is going pretty well so far. Probably I just fucked myself by saying that, but... Yeah, you know what I said about that whole jinxing myself thing? Yeah, I definitely spoke too early. Like, so the bottom layer of this is fine, and that was easy to get in, but the thing is, the water level needs to rise a couple of blocks, and it's not like I can't just build one big platform and place the water on top of that and let it fall down, because it's like cascading, right? It needs to go lower and lower and lower. So now I have to do some weird like platform going down. I don't know, this is becoming a lot more annoying than I first initially realized, and I definitely jinxed myself and I hate myself, and you should also unsubscribe. Okay, just kidding, of course, you should all subscribe immediately. Also, what am I talking about? This is easy. I have done way harder things. This is fantastic. Like this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. It is so enjoyable. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. Okay, all in all, that actually went pretty smoothly. A lot better than I thought it would. Yeah, this should be pretty easy from now on. All we have to do is fill out this part, and God knows that will be easier than this part. You know what? This part was even fucking easy, so this will be a walk in the park. All right, let's get this finished real quick, and then we can get into a bit more of the exciting stuff. Okay. And with all the water in place, we can get started on the extra details that I was talking about. I just want to add some more foliage in the form of sugarcane and the drip leaves and stuff. And small side note here, I wanted to add a lot more small drip leaves, but Man, they are so hard to find. Like, I went to multiple lush caves and all I was able to get is 19. Like, they're quite rare, and even when you do find them, there's like maybe 2 or 3 in a little bunch, but not more than that. And of course you can't like bone meal them, or you can bone meal them, but then they turn into big drip leaf and you're kind of fucked. But yeah, there's no way to farm them or grow them or anything, so I'm just gonna have to use these a lot more sparingly and add some like here and there where I really want them. And that's just gonna have to be good enough, because I can't be asked going to more lush caves. It's not worth it. But yeah, I ran over. Let's get started on placing some of these plants, I guess. No. No, 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 no. No! Bro. Wow, this place is looking way, way better now. We even put in the bridge here, as you can see, which we are aptly naming Dirt Bridge, because, you know, there's dirt on it. But I am really happy with this river. It's coming along really nicely. I really wish I had more of the, what's it called? Yeah, the small drip leaf to add in, because you see, when they're in there, it looks a lot more full, a lot more vibrant, a lot more lush, compared to over here, where there's just these. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future, we'll come back and add some more if we ever have the patience to, I don't know, hunt for hours for more of these things. But for now, this will do. I think it's looking very good nonetheless. And to truly finish this area off, we're doing the final thing. Weird to leave this to the last, but yeah, shit happens. Just to have something as you walk along the path here, you'll have a little, I don't know, point of interest, I guess. So let's quickly whip this up and we can finally call this river area complete. And just like that, we are completely finished with this river area. We finished off these little sheds I was talking about, and I think they're really like little cute things that really add something to the side of this path here, and really adds to the whole farm area thing we've got going on here. I guess they're supposed to symbolize more just, yeah, general storage sheds with some tools out here. I really like this item frame mod I have installed, so you can put tools and stuff on tables. And yeah, it really adds to the whole vibe of the area, and I think it looks great. And the area in general, like I said, super happy with it. Looks really lush and vibrant. Once again, I wish I had more of the small drip leaves, but you win some, you lose some. Great flying, dude. All in all, I think it looks great, and we have done a fantastic job here, other than the side of this cliff, which I think I'll fill that in. I'm thinking about like the final montage if I'm gonna show like a cinematic of this area. I can't have just this ugly ass thing here. So yeah, I'll probably fix that up, but I won't bother you guys with that. Instead, we are going to move on to our final goal on this to-do list. Yes, you read that right. As strange as it may seem, it is time for this build to go. But not before I explain why. When I built this, I was a much less experienced builder. I have improved immensely since then, and I have realized that although I am still very proud of this build, it simply can't stay. It is too big, it is positioned too close to everything else, and honestly, some parts of it don't look very good at all. For these reasons, along with others that I can't reveal just yet, I sadly have to tear this thing down. Don't let this take away from the gratitude I have towards this build. It was the first mega project I ever did, and it is tied to the first proper video I ever finished. A video that got over 100,000 views and brought a bunch of you guys to my channel. In a way, this build and my appreciation towards it is my link to you guys and how much I appreciate everyone who's still sticking around, despite my terrible upload schedule. I believe I said this video will be out in June. Let's pretend I said July. Anyway, for these reasons and many more, I am sad to see this build go. But in the big picture, I want to build a world that is perfect in my eyes, and if that is going to happen, some things need to change. However, for those of you who really like this build, don't worry. There will be something that resembles it. Something we can look at and remember this build by, something better. For now, that is all I'll say. And as usual, huge thank you to everyone who watched this video this far. Despite it being weeks later than I said, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I know I say this every video, but expect more from me moving forward. Next video won't take 4 months. Surely not. Regardless, huge thanks again, enjoy the finale, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, what, like in a year?
Shut up, Jared.
I'm gonna die. I will not be surviving this. Oh my fucking god. Oh, what the hell just happened? Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. Holy sh- oh my god. I've never been so scared in my life. If we didn't do it properly before, it's time to say goodbye to this build. Man, it's hard to say goodbye, it truly is. See you on the other side, mate. Oh. No. I just set off TNT there. No. Oh my god. Oh. Didn't even do that much. Man, I'm gonna need so much more TNT. All my stuff is gone. Oh, all my stuff is gone, dude. My mending villager, it's all gone. Yeah, I know. Definitely need some more foliage around this place. Yeah, we need way more flowers, way more plants, way more everything. Let's see what we have to work with. Do we have a lot of flowers and stuff? Nope. 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 Okay. We have an issue. As you might have been able to tell from my previous episodes, I love to use foliage, plants, flowers, you name it, to make my builds look lush and vibrant. The problem is we clearly don't have a very big supply of these items. Additionally, 1.21.5 has been out for a minute now, and I have yet to collect the incredible new foliage blocks that Mojang has so graciously added to our arsenal. And I want them now. So today we are going to make sure we never run out of these resources again by building a farming district.
And as you might have been able to guess, we are going to need a ton of plants and foliage for this. So we are going to start off by building some farms to collect just that. And these farms will get pretty much everything we will ever need for future desires. This includes a potato and carrot farm, which will be automatically collected by a farmer villager. Additionally, we will have a simple farm for getting ferns as well as grass. Then for the more mechanical farms, we have a brand new bone meal farm, which will even have multiple features. I will also be constructing a pickle farm, as I never seem to have enough of those. Then we will of course be making smaller simple farms for the 1.25.1 items, that being the firefly bush, regular bush, and the dry grass as well. And lastly, we are building 2 brand new sheep farms for even more bulk of wool colors. So with our goals clearly set, let's get started. First off, however, we need to clean up this area because it is looking pretty messy. Alright, that's a lot better. Moving on to the actual terrain, as you can see, we're smoothing out the land here a little bit. I thought it was way too bulky before and it was sticking out way too much, so we are making more of a smooth edge here, as you can see. Along with that, we're clearing all the trees under here to make room for the terrain that will eventually be here. And as soon as that is done, we'll start terraining under the actual platform here, which will be making room for the farms. Oh wait, I haven't updated to the new version yet. I can't get the music disc. Wait, I have to save this guy. Oh, he's holding an item. Perfect. You won't despawn then, right? Where do I put you? Over here. Oh, stop being so quick. There we go. Stupid little boy. Yeah. Stop nodding. And alright, with this area a bit more cleared, specifically under here where the farms are gonna go, we can actually start building these farms. So we're gonna start with the biggest and most complicated one. I have all the materials here. This farm is gonna be right here, and it's actually a new bone meal farm. If you recall, we do have a bone meal farm over in that direction, which it's working fine, it's good, but it does produce bone meal sort of slowly. So, I just want another one to get more bone meal consistently. Even this one I think is kind of slow, but it has multiple purposes as well, so I think it's gonna be great. And as per usual, I am going to be turning on a schematic for these farms because, well, like I've been telling you guys, I am terrible at redstone. I do not know how any of this works. Yeah, I'll definitely be following a tutorial as well. The tutorials as well as the channels of the people who design these farms will all be in the description. Please go check them out because this is some crazy shit that I could never do. But yeah, let's see if we can get this right the first time round. I'm not very optimistic about that, but I guess we'll see. Okay, I think the farm is up and running and working. I really hope. It seems to be doing well. I don't know. I realized maybe doing a schematic is not the best idea because then I'm like, oh, well, then I don't have to follow the tutorial again. But then I realized there's some things that need to go in a specific order and stuff like that. But with that being said, everything looks fine. So basically how this thing works is that it's a bone meal farm that uses the moss to compost it into bone meal. But what this farm also does, so in these hoppers here, you can see it's filtered so that the azalea and the flowering azalea bush are only filtered through here, and they will end up in these furnaces down here so that we can smelt pretty much anything we want. And once they've smelted a bunch of things, then there will be XP stored within the furnaces. Then there is of course also the regular composter where the items will end up, they'll get composted, and that's how we get the bone meal. And then at the end here, there is a hopper that will collect anything, any unfiltered items, junk items, etc. So what I can do at the back here, there are levers, and if I flick these, then it will toggle the hoppers off on the other side, and then everything will just funnel into here. So moss blocks, moss carpets, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's what's really cool about this farm, and I think if I toggle all these back on, I should just be getting bone meal. Oh, well, that's the issue. I haven't filled bone meal in the dispenser. Okay. See, there's always something you forget when you don't follow the tutorial. Luckily this farm wasn't too complicated, so I could kind of figure it out. Oh, fantastic. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, there's always something you forget, so it might just be smarter in the future to, yeah, follow the tutorial from the beginning. Now this should actually work properly. But all in all, I think it's working. I just have to let it run for a bit, refill the bone meal, stuff like that, and it will be up and running. For now, we're going to move on to next farm, which is way more simple. It's a tiny one here, which is going to be a pickle farm. So yeah, this one should be a lot more simple. As you can see, it is way smaller and quite simple, like redstone and everything. So let's see if we can knock this out quickly. Oh no, I'm an idiot. Oh, they're dead now. I realized it as soon as I did it. But okay, last thing we have to do here is fill this dispenser with bone meal. And now if we toggle this on, it's very loud, but oh, fuck. I forgot to add the pickles. How could I forget the pickles? It's a pickle farm. Okay, that should be better, I think. Oh, I didn't have the bone meal back yet. But yeah, this farm is insane. It actually gets so many pickles, more than I'll ever need probably. Okay, we're already out of bone meal, but that was a stack and a little bit of bone meal. And I mean, yeah, and we got quite a few pickles. I would say that's pretty damn good. Now we only have 3 small farms left, which are going to be the new items in 1.21.5. But yeah, in order to make those farms, we're obviously going to have to collect the items for that. The, what would it be? Bush, the dried grass, and the firefly bush as well. Now, 1.21.5 has actually been out for a while, and while I was recording the last episode, 4th episode, I actually did go and get these items because I, well, wanted to check it out and get the new items. So I have the footage of me getting that. Just keep in mind it's, yeah, a little bit older than what I'm currently recording. Other than that, let's jump straight into that, and I'll show you the footage of how I got the 1.21.5 new foliage blocks. So the 1.21.5 update just came out, and all of the stuff they've added looks fantastic. Like you guys have probably seen, it's the firefly bush, the dried grass, the regular smaller bush, the leaf litter, and what are they called? Wildflowers, I believe. And yeah, it all looks amazing. So I want to head out and find that real quick. So let's see if we can get our hands on all of it. Question is if I have to find new chunks or not. I think I do, because I don't know if can grass like respawn in bushes like that. I just want to check, because sometimes these chests have like, you know, the tall grass in it, which nope, that's just paper. But yeah, sometimes they have the tall grass item, which you can't actually get otherwise. Wow, this is just horrible. No, I don't even want it. Oh my, no. Water. I'm fine. What the hell is this infrastructure? You guys built your house over this lava lake. Just like, yeah. How do you even get to your house? Don't look at me like that. Okay, I guess I have to build a bridge for you. This is gonna burn down too. Oh, a bundle. Oh, I forgot about these. That these are a new thing. Oh my god. Well, that's great. Oh. Yeah, something's wrong with my texture pack. It's making the bow look weird. Bob and weave. The purple cube was in my face. Look at that. What the? Can you? All right. I don't think there's any tall grass here. Shame. But we found bundles. That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Give me all of these. I'm gonna use these so much. Oh, and a fallen log too. This is a great addition. This little world building lore. I guess not lore, but looks cool. Wait, so you can place these. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, I ruined it. Okay, I think I went a little bit overboard maybe, but you know what? No. Oh, a bush as well. No. Wait, silk touch? Ah, where are the firefly bushes? I want a firefly bush. I want a firefly bush. Give it to me now. Oh, actually, oh, here. These, petals. Wildflowers. Can I also just punch these? Nice. It's like the pink ones. Yeah, I think they're called pink petals, right? Or something? Whatever. But they're like these. Or these are like those. English is hard. I have a problem. I don't know why I had to fix that. Okay, why can't I find the firefly bush though? Oh, never mind. Yeah. There we go. Now I just have to find like a mesa, or I guess just, I don't know, on beaches? No, definitely not on beaches. I think it's in like full on desert or a mesa. Yeah. All right. If this doesn't lead anywhere, I might just circle back around, go to this desert, see if there's any, but I just don't think there will be though, since I've loaded all those chunks before. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, a mesa, never mind. Added it. Oh, wow. I think it's these again because this won't work. Oh, that does work. Can I punch it? No, I can't, but I can do this. Okay, I think we've collected pretty much everything. Yeah, that should be everything. Another village as well. It would be a great finale to this adventure if we could just find the tall grass item. Come on, come on.
There's grass in the house on the wood, but there's no tall grass. Fantastic. No way! Oh my god. I actually found it. Let me just go play. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine I accidentally placed it. So that is a find and a half. What a successful adventure this has been. Found all the new items in 1.21.5 and the tall grass item, which is supposed to be pretty rare. Another bundle. Yeah, can't get enough of these apparently. Yeah, that should be pretty much it. We found all the new items and we even found a tall grass thing. I don't know why I'm that excited about this. Is the first time I've gone looking for it. Either way, cool thing to find. This was also nice to find. Mesa, I'm definitely gonna need that for concrete in the, or not concrete, the terracotta in the future. So good to know where that is. Now just for the long journey back. So with these new blocks in our arsenal, we can actually start building these farms. They are very small, very simple. So let's quickly knock these out. So for this first one, as you can see, we're doing the firefly bush. We're just gonna have a couple of hoppers running into the barrel. On top of that, oh, I didn't get the mud blocks. And fantastic, I didn't even bring any mud blocks. All right, now I got the mud blocks finally. Then we're gonna encase this thing in glass. I guess first, actually, we should put the firefly bush in. We're gonna have a dispenser that's gonna have the bone meal running into that. Then an observer clock there. And yeah, as soon as we get bone meal in this thing, this will actually work. Here we can toggle it on and off as well. And obviously we need the redstone for the piston as well. As for the next one, it's a little bit of a different design, but sort of just works the same way, except that the fire blush, what the fire blush? Except that the firefly bush obviously can be harvested by a piston, so it's fully automatic. This one, unfortunately, you do have to use a silk touch tool or shears. So that's why this configuration is here. I'll show you in a bit how that works. Same thing here, dispenser with the lever to toggle it on and off. And then this in front, obviously we need the bush as well. So yeah, it's quite simple, this one really. Once again, once the bone meal is in, it will bone meal the bush here, which will replicate it over on this side, where I can stand at a distance with a silk touch tool and just continuously hit it. As for the dried bush one, it's very similar to the firefly bush one, except that once again, unfortunately, you cannot harvest it with a piston. So it's the same thing with the chest here, that you can stand at a angle a little bit further away and you can just gather it. Now, also what's cool about this design is that, let me put in the dried bush first. So obviously you can toggle off the farm here, but also there's a toggleable one here. So if you turn this one on, now currently this one will get bone mealed and it will turn this one into short dry grass. And then you can harvest that. But if you turn on this one as well, where we will also have bone meal, yeah, then I'll turn it into the tall dry grass as well. So that this way you can harvest both kinds. And as you can hear, if you hear, listen to it, it's not going too quick at the moment, which is why apparently, I don't know why this works, but there's this machine up here, or there's the piston up here. So if you push this, which also toggles off the farm, by the way, and then you toggle it back, hear that? It's going way faster. So for now, we can just toggle the full farm off by doing that. And with that, all the farms are, well, pretty much done. Like I said, we need to get the bone meal in here so that they are all up and running. But other than that, we are all good. Now it's time to make this area look a little bit more pretty. Obviously, it's not going to be looking like this. And I was thinking we would get started with covering up this area, like where the farms actually are, as well as the area down here. Basically, we're going to be doing some cliffs. And along with that, we're also going to be, reworking this to go along with what I've planned here. This I made, I don't know, even in episode 1, I think, and I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. It doesn't look terrible, but I think the new design I have looks way better. But yeah, with that said, let's get started and let's start terraforming this area. Now, this terrain looks so much better than what we had before. I don't exactly hate what we did before with those cylinders that you saw earlier, but in general, I just don't think it fit the area, and especially since we have these types of rocks over here as well, I just thought this fit a lot better as a sort of conformity between the entire world. Well, you know, rocks, cliff faces, stuff like that would be the same. So I'm much happier with what we have now. And moving on to the next step, for what I want to do next, I realized I actually do need to put in one more farm so we can collect a bunch of ferns, since we're going to be using them quite a lot. Now, to do this, we're actually going to have to dig down into here quite a bit, but this farm is very simple. Don't worry, it's going to be super quick. And we're just going to do this so we actually have the ferns we need, and then you'll see the amazing things we're going to do with it.
Okay, we got the bare bones of the farm in. Basically, if we click this button, it will dispense bone meal out of every single dispenser. And if we have just any grass or fern along these here, they will become a double fern or double grass, and then you can shear them all down, and then you have successfully duplicated your plant. Very simple, something that doesn't necessarily really need a farm, but this is just an easy way to get it. Obviously, this doesn't look amazing at the moment. We will make this a lot prettier later, but for now, I just wanted to... I see you. What are you doing? No. Hey, get out of here. As I was saying, I just wanted to get the bare bones in here for now, and so that the farm is up and running, and then we'll make it a lot prettier later. But with that in place, I wanted to show you guys what we're going to be doing next for... Oh my god. Hate you. Okay, as I was saying before I just got so rudely interrupted, before we start making this area look a little bit better and starting the actual farming district, I want to make sure the path leading up looks a lot better, and to do that we are going to add some boulders and foliage here, as well as a forest over on this side, because this piece of land next to the river is looking quite bare and I want to make that look a lot better. And now that we have a bunch of ferns and grass to our disposal, we can get started on this right away. Alright, let's go. Man, this place is looking so much better. Adding these forests has really transformed the area, really bringing it together, especially with a view like this on the river. Like, I can't believe I didn't think to do anything with it when we built the river in the last episode. Having this forest next to it really ties it all together. Similarly, this one over here, obviously it's not finished yet. We're going to be adding in water here, for example. There's still a bunch of rocks up here to do, cliffside here. But man, all the foliage, it's super lush. I think it turned out amazing. I also think these are some of the best trees I've done. I know they're not exactly anything special, but I am terrible at trees, so I am super happy with how these came out. Problem is, I haven't lit it up too much, so I do have to sleep before a creeper blows it all up. That may or may not have happened like 3 or 4 times, but especially just walking up the road here, getting the whole vibe of the tall trees. And then soon when there will be buildings popping up here as well, it's gonna be great. Now, however, it is time to... Jesus Christ, I can't... Now, however, it is almost time to start building the actual buildings and the actual district. But before we do, I want to get these cliffs in place that I just mentioned. That feels like an important step, not only to cover up the farms below, but also to make sure that this, well, piece of land isn't floating. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do anything. You stay there. Yeah, I see you. Along with that, you can see we also have carved out sort of a path here, which is just going to be some more coarse dirt, which will eventually lead off in this direction. No plans for what is going to be over here at all as of yet, but I'll let future Twizzy worry about that. All right, let's get these cliffs done so we can get started on the fun stuff. Okay, just a quick side note before we start. There were some pillagers here, and so naturally I killed them, and it dropped a crossbow. I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, look at this. It's massive. You know what else is I don't know if this is something with my texture pack or something, or if this is a glitch in 1.21.5 or something. Look at it. It's huge. Anyway, thought that was interesting. Would you take a look at this? This sort of palette for cliffs and rocks and stuff is something I've used a ton of times, but I don't know. In my opinion, I think I really nailed it here. Especially from a bit of a distance, just with the darker parts and the shadowy parts and then the highlights on top as well. I think it really, really works. Also adding these sort of like more pillory boulders, I guess, was sort of a last minute addition, but I think they turned out amazing as well. But before I ramble too much about these rocks, now that we have these in place and the whole district is looking much more whole and completed, we can start doing the actual fun stuff and start building the actual farming district. Let's go! So we're gonna start off right over here, which is where the final farms are going to be. If you recall, I mentioned having a potato and carrot farm, which are gonna sit right here, where we will have a couple of buildings where the villagers are gonna reside. So let's jump into a quick time lapse where I build up the actual houses and the farms, and then we can jump straight into the more technical side of things. All right, let's go. Okay, sorry, one quick intermission before we start. Yeah, I just upgraded to 1.21.8, the newest version that is out, and yeah, that should mean that the music disc for the guy we trapped under here, what's it called? The, like lava chicken soundtrack. Oh, what? No! Oh, why did the chicken disappear? Oh, come on. Stupid little... Ah, that is so annoying, man. Because they're like pretty rare too, no? Oh well, I guess we'll have to wait for another one. But it's sad, that music disc is elite. Alright, the actual walls for the farms are in. Now we just need to add the two small buildings where the villagers are going to be. So for this palette, we're going with kind of like a whitewash, starting here with our diorite, then moving into calcite and topping that off with bone blocks. Then before we move into the palette for the top part of the house, we're going to separate that a little bit by using dark oak signs and some trapdoors here. As for this little side bit here, we're going to be moving into some spruce as a bit of a contrast. Then we're going to continue with this brown palette by transitioning into some stripped spruce, then some of the brown concrete powder, and topping this off with mud and mud bricks. And as for the second flooring here, we're going to be moving back into the dark oak as a, like I mentioned earlier, very nice contrast against the white at the bottom. And then we're even bringing in some stripped mangrove as a bit of a highlight, I guess you could say, and a bit of variation. Also want to make a bit of a framing here for the windows that are going to be at the front. Once again, continuing with the mangrove and dark oak. As for how the windows are going to be here, we're going to bring in some spruce stairs and then the spruce trap doors as well for the sides here. And for the side windows here, okay, never mind. Yeah, for the side windows here, oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, third time's the charm, I guess. For the side windows here, we're gonna be doing the trapdoors on the inside like this. Yeah, just like that. Where we will also bring in some spruce fence gates topped with a trapdoor. Let's see if I can, okay. And maybe if I, nope. Now for this window, since we have the trapdoors on the block here, we have to come on the inside and bring them in like this. Flap all these down, and now this is looking a lot better. And then for the tippity top, we're gonna bring in some of the light glazed, what am I saying? The brown glazed, what is it called? Brown glazed, yeah, brown glazed terracotta. Let's see if we can get the right orientation on this. That's gonna be something annoying like this, isn't it? There we go. So now that once we put in a staircase here for where the roof is gonna be, then only this part will be showing, and you'll see later looks pretty dang cool. Speaking of the roof, we're gonna do a little bit of a deep slate trim along the sides. And on the underside of this, we're actually gonna bring in the black stone as well, which creates a bit of a shadowy effect, which looks really good. Now with this final staircase in, if we can somehow, okay, watch this pro move. Oh, okay, I placed an extra, but oh, Jesus Christ. I really need to sleep and light this area up. For the inside of this, can you show? Thank you. For the inside part of this roof, we're going to start off with some spruce, which will transition into the acacia, sort of going from the, well, the brown into the orangey type of thing, which we will top off with some of the sandstone as well. What the f just happened? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh! Stop! Oh, please say none of my stuff was in that explosion. Dude, I seriously need to... How? There's so many torches, though. Oh, I don't think I've screamed like that in a while. Holy shit. If you couldn't tell, that scared the shit out of me. I think all my stuff made it out at least. But man, this is a mess. I need to get some more chests. Oh, don't die again, please. The fact that I just stood there too, I was so flabbergasted. Okay, with all that excitement out of the way, we are actually finished with this first part as well. I think this came out really, really well. I'm really happy with it. Similarly, there will also be the same type of building over here that will be collecting the other crop on this side. But yeah, like I said, super happy with this, and we're gonna now put in the other building. That's gonna be the same pallet. So I'm just gonna speed through that with a time lapse. Let's hope a creeper doesn't blow me up again. The first step of the farming district is complete, and I think this area is looking so much better. As you saw from the replay, I also added in the windmill, which I really like the blade design on here, which is something I'm thinking of updating on my old windmills over here, just because the white blades like that look a lot better than the birch that we have going on here. Path leading up here looks really good as well. I like the addition of this little shed thing. And then in here, we will obviously have the collection system for the crops that will be in these enclosures over here and here. Speaking of, that's what we need to get in order now. So before we get the villagers in, I was thinking we would plant some potatoes and carrots and get that all out of the way. Potatoes we can pretty easily get from our potato field that we planted in the last episode. Carrots, on the other hand, I am not entirely sure if I have a good supply of. Now I just feel like I did at the beginning of the episode, where I'm just looking in random chests and shulker boxes to see if I, by any chance, have some extra carrots lying around. Oh wow, okay, we found one carrot. I was kind of hoping we would have more than that. Maybe if we go to a nearby village, they'll have carrots planted. Let's see if we can... Yeah, let's go to this one, see what happens. Okay. Oh, yes, these are carrots per... Oh, there was one carrot. Okay. Some more, please. Yep, here we go. Okay, 9. Okay, 15 we'll have to do. We'll just plant them, let them grow, and then, yeah, have to refill them. I guess the villager might do that automatically, though, actually, so that'll be good. All right, let's get these crops in here. I am thinking that we will put carrots on this side and then potatoes on the other side. So let's start mapping out how this is going to go. Maybe if we put 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 water here. While we're getting these fields planted, I thought this would be a good time to ask you guys so kindly to subscribe and like the video if you're liking it so far. I hope you guys are happy that this video came out a lot earlier than you might have expected. Like a lot of you said in the comments, see you in 6 months. Completely reasonable and understandable statement, but at least I was able to get this one out a bit quicker, and I plan on doing this moving forward as well. Because obviously more videos means more content for you guys, and to help me stay motivated to do that for you guys, please consider subscribing. I'm not going to give you that whole thing. It's free and you can unsubscribe later. You guys know that, you're not idiots, but nonetheless, I would really appreciate it. My game fucking crashed. All right, and just like that, that is all our carrots, so that's looking fantastic. But all in all, this is a pretty good start, especially for the potatoes. I mean, because they actually grew, or not grew, they actually was able to fill the entire field. As for the carrots, yeah, it's a bit bare, but yeah, I'm thinking they will grow. The villager will collect them, he'll start planting, and if not, we can help out, and I don't know. With these fields in place, we can actually start moving the villagers over there. So I was thinking we would grab some moss blocks, so that we can make a simple bridge over and put the villagers in there using some rails. For now though, let's start making this bridge over to the crop farms, and then we can start getting the villagers in there. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this in order, because we need to place a hopper minecart, and the thing that's a bit tricky about this is we need to... Wait, can I do it from the side? And the thing is inside? Oh, nice, yeah. Okay, this might be easier than I thought. Okay, dare I say that went 10 million times smoother than I thought it would. Now, this guy should collect potatoes, throw it over to this guy, but it'll be caught by this hopper minecart that is inside this block, like you can see here, and then it'll be picked up and collected in these chests here. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to jinx it, but that went so smoothly compared to how I thought it would. Now let's... Oh, what the how the hell? Okay, let's put some torches here for now. Okay, they're coming from up here. Okay, we need a golden apple and a splash potion of weakness for this guy.
Oh, no way. I actually have one in here. That's crazy. Let's go. Can I go to Napoli? Oh my god. The gods are blessing me today. Villagers behaving. Just gave me these items basically for free. And it disappeared. Never mind. Fuck you, Minecraft gods. And finally, the villager is back in. So both of these farms are up and running as far as I can tell. I even tested like if throwing the items will actually be picked up by the hopper. And seems to be working. So yeah, it's just a matter of time before these guys start farming it and they will throw the potatoes or carrots over and it'll be collected and we'll have infinite amounts. And now that we can call this project 100% finished, we can finally move into some more of the, let's say, fun stuff. Like I've mentioned, this is going to be a whole farming district with a bunch of buildings running along here. So I thought that we would knock out a whole chunk of this by, in a time lapse, just speeding through the buildings that will be going in this area. Along with that, we will also be adding a forest behind the buildings here, as well as on this terrain here, which we will need to flatten a little bit. The forest is going to be the same vibes as this one and this one over here as well. But yeah, without much further ado, let's get straight into it. That was a lot of building, but man, was it worth it. I've been improving more and more on this sort of village or small district kind of vibe, and I am loving how this is looking, especially this little, what would you call it, maybe plaza outside of these buildings here. It's just such a nice little outside area with a bunch of details, and all in all, I just think it all came together so nicely. Especially if you fly out here and check it from above, or even a bit from the side like this. This view though, as you're coming up the path and the buildings start popping up, and then all this reveals, and especially soon when we have the last buildings in place, this is just gonna look so fire. Speaking of the last buildings, these are gonna be the 2 sheep farms that I've mentioned, and other than that, it's just a few more details around the place, and then we can call this district finished. Before we get into that though, I want to fix something first. As you can see, we have added the sort of the interior down to the fern farm, and it's looking a lot more refined and clean. However, this was the way we got down to the bone meal farm, which you can currently hear if you listen. That's pretty loud. But yeah, because of that, we are denied access to all those farms down there. So I was thinking we would just dig down the floor here a little bit so we have access to those. And yeah, I just wanted to fix that quickly before we get into the rest of the stuff. Huh, that was basically just one layer anyway, alright. Eventually I'm thinking there will be more of a, well, staircase and actually some more decorated, maybe hallways, something to make this place look a bit nicer and more easily accessible. Right now it would just be dropping down and then having to fly out. So eventually I'd like to fix that up, but right now I don't have any plans for it, so that's gonna have to wait. Swiftly moving on to the aforementioned forest, we are first bringing in the terrain and floor, if you will, along with the same foliage blocks and flowers we used in the previous forests. Then of course the trees, which are the same design as the 2 forests we built earlier. Perhaps a bit repetitive, but for what we are building here, I think it works. Besides, I think it really ties the whole area together. Next to the path here, we are adding in a unique big oak tree that sort of hangs over the path and really frames certain builds as you walk along it. Next to this, we have a sort of enclosure where we might bring in some animals in the future. It also serves as a stopping point for the water from the river running through the forest, where, as you can see, we are finishing it off with some final rocks and boulders. And now this area is looking even more complete. The addition of the forest here really did its job tying this all together. It all really feels like a unified build now, starting down here, going all the way up the hill and leading here to the district. And before we get the 2 final puzzle pieces in, being the sheep farms, I just want to add a couple small sheds down here as an extra little detail as you're walking along the path. And I just wanted to take this time to do one last shameless plug. First of all, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I really hope you enjoyed. And to those of you who did make it this far, I'm assuming you are a sort of fan of me, maybe? So if you are, please consider becoming a member of the channel. If you enjoy these videos, then becoming a member will only give you more of this. I've been planning to do some member exclusive videos of
of like behind the scenes of how I designed these builds. Not to mention, if you enjoyed these main survival series episodes, if you become a member, you get early access to them. Not only that, but members will get a shout out at the end of the video. So yeah, if that sounds appealing to you, please consider becoming a member. It's not too expensive, but if you can't afford it or you don't think it's worth it, completely understand. Don't worry, all these episodes will obviously be available to you regardless. But don't you want to be able to say you saw the video before everyone else? I don't know, just think about it. And easy as that, we are done with the 2 little sheds. Like I said, it's just a so. And easy as that, we are done with the 2 little sheds. As I said, it's supposed to be something as you walk along. And easy as that, we are done with the 2 little sheds. As I said, it's supposed to be something as you walk along the path. It's a little extra point of interest kind of thing. It was a little bit too empty here, and especially on the side of the cliff here, it just looked, yeah, a little bit too empty, so I just wanted a little something, and I think these really do the trick. And now we have arrived. So like I said, it's going to be 2 sheep farms here and here. They have the same design, but with a different roof color. You'll understand when you see it. For now, I'm just going to do the 2 time lapses of building the 2 buildings, meaning I won't be building the actual sheep farms on the inside just yet. Mostly, to be honest, just because I really couldn't be bothered. And I thought as well, since I've done this in the past, in episode, what was this, 1? Wow, what a throwback. But yeah, it's going to be the exact same design as this pretty much, where it's a sheep in a little box, and then there's a dispenser full of shears, shearing the sheep. So since you guys have seen that before, that I'll probably just do off camera. Like I said, there's going to be one of them having one of each color of wool. Meanwhile, the other will only have light gray wool, since that's what we use. Look at that. Yeah, a lot for building. So let's strap on our building gear and let's finish this district. And there it is. The final 2 farms are complete and fully built, and they are exactly what we needed to finish this area and make it fully complete. I should mention something about the sheep farms. This is actually a design that Fwip used in one of his videos like years ago, I believe. I just really liked the design he whipped up, and also I realized he obviously thought of the dimensions, as in how big it should be and how at a diagonal, how it would fit in with each sheep and having each color for each type of wool. So I did rip off that design a little bit. I tried to make it my own with some elements, like changing some colors and adding some stuff and changing some dimensions. But yeah, I should just mention that the idea is from him and the base design is his design. With that being said, the farming district is 100% complete, and I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. This has been a blast to build, and I'm sorry to say it's over, honestly. But that means we can move on to build even more cool things. And like I've mentioned, I'm in more of a flow now, and I'm getting these videos out quicker, so that will be sooner than you think. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. But for now, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Wait, I actually wanted to check as well how much bone meal we made. Because I mean, the whole point of making a second farm was we need a lot of it because we use it so much. But hopefully it's not a disaster like the creeper farm where we had like 13 after a while. So yeah, hopefully this is good. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Do you guys ever just open your Minecraft world and think, yeah, this part of my world looks really whack? No? Just me? Well, this part of my world has been an eyesore for a very long time now. And we even have a couple of nice builds around it, but
the rest of it just looks really, really whack. So today we are fixing that by building a beautiful mountain village here at the base of this mountain. I've especially put off detailing this cliff for way too long, so that's gonna be really nice to finally take care of. As well as the path leading up, the side here looks really awful. So I'm really looking forward to fixing this up as well. And before we get into today's antics, I would hugely appreciate it if you guys would consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I have a goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and it would be hugely appreciated if you guys could help me finish this goal. First up, we're heading out north to the mangrove forest to collect some mangrove leaves. I ended up getting quite an abundance of this since I rarely go to this forest, so I thought, why not while we're here, get some extra. Then heading all the way back out south to the flower forest. Here we can easily get our hands on some tulips. Then heading on out east to the swamp to get some blue orchids as well. Lastly, heading down south, I guess you could say, down under the main base to collect a whole bunch of tuff. It was quite tough. And this may come as a surprise to you all, but there's actually no side missions today. At least not really. Okay, there's one. Don't worry though, before you click off the video, it's a super quick and easy one. I just want to finish off these sheep farms that we built in the last episode. Basically, we just need to build small chambers for each kind of sheep, and then of course get the actual sheep in the chambers. I also quickly want to go repair my tools, because I realized my shovel is looking pretty dead. He's on his deathbed for sure. I also cannot wait to transform this place. Not that I have any plans with that or anything. No, totally not. Just ignore what I said. Ignore that. Jump scare. Can't say I didn't warn you. Jumping back to today's side mission, where we're putting in a flooring of grass and some observers, which will detect once the sheep has eaten the grass. Oh my god, what the fuck? Then we're encasing this in some glass and a dispenser that will contain shears, plenty of lighting in the form of frog lights, then a roof of some spruce and trap doors, which will contain a lot more lights in the ceiling here as well. This is starting to shape up pretty nicely. We are almost ready to bring in the sheep. I also thought I'd show you the downstairs. This is where the collection system is. I didn't show this in the replay, but basically it's just a hopper minecart that will pick up the wool on the block. This is where the sheep will be standing. So this will be picked up here, then into the hopper, then into the chest for down here. Can this llama shut up? Now, before we start bringing in the actual sheep, oh, that got picked up. But as I was saying, before we do that, we need to make sure the sheep actually get sheared. So we're gonna break this away so we can access the dispensers. And this brings us to the actual shears, which, by the way, you might be wondering, Twizzy, why are there so many shulker boxes? You said it was a small project. Yeah, it is. This was the actual building materials, which are now empty, or at least mostly. But all of these... just shears. Yeah, I decided to fill every single dispenser full of shears so that it won't run out for a long time, but that required a lot of shears, as you might be able to tell. Quickly putting all of these shears in turned out to be a little bit harder than I expected. Glass kept falling into the hopper and being collected downstairs, but with just a little bit of patience, we quickly got this done as well. And with that finished, all we have to do is get the actual sheep in here. And as I've mentioned, one of the sheep farms will have only gray sheep. Meanwhile, the other one will have one of each color. And I actually have some sheep over here, just a little bit away. The farming district is over there, as you can see. This is where I got some orange wool for the last episode. But anyway, I was thinking we could use these sheep to get all the colors. I do actually have a dye shulker box as well, so this should help out. Perfect. We need 16 light gray sheep. And other than the light gray dye, we do need one of each other dye, which should be 16, and I think we have most of them here in my dye box. So yeah, lime, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, perfect, that's all of them. Wow, this became a lot easier than I thought. Now we just need to breed these guys up so we have enough sheep, and then everything should be smooth sailing. Should being the keyword. We now should have 16 light gray sheep. I say should because it's a bit hard to count them, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we have 16. So I do actually have 16 leads here. Now I want to see if we can grab them all and bring them over. Last one might have to be a baby. Can you lead a baby? Oh, you can. Okay, perfect. What if I just bring them up? Yep. Sometimes I think twice about what I'm actually doing in this game, and at times like these, it looks quite ridiculous, can't lie. Like, imagine someone who's never played this game watching me dangle 12 sheep from a wooden pillar. I really wonder what they would be thinking. No. Please, just please. If you don't go back inside, you're gonna die. Yeah, you have to like come back to run away or you're dying. Oh, this terrain is a bit annoying. This way. I feel like we don't have 16 right now. It's gonna make me sad. Okay, final little stretch. Come on, guys. Okay, next question. How do we get them in here? Oh god, what do? I have a plan. I have a genius plan. Okay, we got all the sheep in here. Now let's just block this off so they don't escape. Oh, You went in there by yourself. No, no, but you need to stay in there, though. You need to stay in there, though. You need to stay in there, though. Thank you. No, not you as well. Yeah, walk in there. Let me place the... Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yep, keep going. See you later. Yep. No, 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 no. Yeah, stay in there. Stay in there. It's a good idea. Trust me. Trust me. I'll give you more grass if you stay in there. Oh, actually, listen. Yes. Yes, leave. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. You're actually God. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I missed it. Oh, last one. Dude, I don't know. What is your obsession with this corner? What is your problem? There you go. Yes. That wasn't that hard, honestly. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Now to just get one of each color. Now let's hope I have 16 sheep to dye, which I think I do, but it might require dyeing some babies. That sounds really wrong for some reason. Oh, I'm colorblind. Which one? This one's green. That was green. Okay. And then the lime or whatever. Is that cyan or gray? I feel like I'm missing a couple colors. What am I missing? 2. So I should be missing a light gray. And then what? Why didn't I just bring 16 sheep and then dye them afterwards? Ah, I love being smart in retrospect. It's the best thing. Never think of it just on the spot. No, 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 no. I always have to think of the good idea after I've done the bad idea. Why did I ever think this was a good idea? Whatever. Okay, this is gonna be really weird, but I got rid of my blocks, so we're doing this. Okay, that's purple, white, that's yellow, that's pink, and this is hopefully gray. Come on, get up there. No, okay. Ooh, lime. No. Okay, instead, black. No, stop walking straight out. No, you're staying here. You're not leaving. You're not leaving. That's green. Now that's lime. Okay, magenta. Orange. Light blue or some shit. I don't know. So it is cyan we're missing then, I'm pretty sure. Look, there's grass in there. Oh, don't you want the tasty grass? It's laced with heroin. There we go. That's gray. Light gray is just walked out. Light gray. Yes, there we go. Brown. Nice. That's black. That's blue. All right. Cyan is the last one. I'm pretty sure. Wait, there's 2 missing? How's there 2 missing? Oh, come on. What? 2 missing? Cyan. Okay, it's definitely cyan at least. That's one of them. Cyan is one, and then... Oh, red. I don't have red, do I? Okay, red and cyan. Yeah, it's red. Red and cyan. There he is. That's the cyan sheep. You dirty little f... Alright, moving 2 sheep should be a lot easier than moving 16, so... Let's hope for the best here. Dude, this red one does not want to. Why are you such... It's only you as well. The cyan one has been behaving and you just act like a dick. Okay, that's cyan. Okay, that's red. Final one. And that is all of the sheep. Both this one, which has every single color, and the one over here that is only light gray sheep. It all seems to be working and is, yeah, collecting wool at a reasonable rate, so we can officially call this side mission done. This brings us back to the main focus for today. And to kick this project off, I want to start with detailing the outside here with some foliage, some trees, fixing up the cliffside here and here, and of course the cliffside over here that we mentioned at the start of the video. Let's just have a little sleep first so we don't get blown up by a creeper. Starting at the base layer here, we are extending this path to connect to the other bridge, then sprucing up the bank of the river here, as well as the plots of grass next to the path in the form of some grass and ferns and blue orchids and orange tulips as well. Making our way up the path, we also have to get rid of the old villager's house that was here. For obvious reasons, it was kind of in the way. Making our way further up the path, we are fixing it up a little bit here, as well as extending it to be behind the honey farm as well. And before continuing up there, we are first going to add some more foliage down here, once again utilizing the blue orchids, orange tulips, ferns, and grass. Then jumping back up to the top layer, we are finally detailing this side of the cliff, just using some of the light gray blocks as highlights, then tuff and cobblestone as the deeper, darker parts. Along the same theme, we're also adding some boulders with the same palette, simply to break up the otherwise kind of mundane, just grass. Simply to break up the otherwise kind of mundane grass that just goes on forever and ever. Jesus, I'm going on forever and ever. Simply to break up the otherwise mundane grass that otherwise... What? Simply to break up the otherwise mundane grass that... What? Not that! Not that! I want to say... Simply to break up the otherwise mundane grass to add some more variation. Then last but not least, we're doing another sweep of the entire area, adding trees to tie this whole area together. And by using these mangrove leaves, it allows this area to have a little bit of its own identity, if you will. Having this area finally cleaned up feels so good. As I mentioned earlier, despite us having builds next to it, this area right to this side looked so terrible, but now it's really starting to shape up. Especially walking up here now with the boulders on either side, and just adding some more more details, like we have this little thing, which is a little storage unit of some sort, I guess. It will make more sense once this building is in. And this area really needed something, so I put a little market stall in with some flowers and even some potatoes in the basket kind of thing. Some coral and resin. Oh, that apparently breaks easy. Yeah, some coral and resin to look like maybe blueberries and oranges, some kind of fruit selling in a basket like that. And walking along here is now a lot more nice with all the trees and the boulders and everything. I even added some extra details here. And yeah, there is just looking so much better. With that being said, there's still a lot more work to do. But now that we've finished the outskirts, let's say, of the village, we can start on the actual village. But to do this, we need to collect a few more materials. So let's quickly do a couple time lapses and get some of these materials. Ow. Firstly, we spent a couple of hours flying from our shulker monster over to our chest monster, and then back again, quite a few times in order to get some bits and pieces that we will be needing. Then starting to strip down the copper to the stages we will be needing it in. Then as you can see, we're doing this for the other 2 stages as well. Then quickly heading over to the honey farm so that we can get some honeycomb in order to wax the copper we just stripped down. We then flew over to a nearby azalea tree so that we can get our hands on a lot of the rooted dirt. And of course, while we're here, we headed down into the lush cave to collect as many drip leaves as we could find. Can never pass up on an opportunity like this. Migrating back out north, we went to an oak forest to collect a bunch of the oak leaves. Back at the base, we headed to the farming district to utilize the new fern and grass farm. This was obviously to collect a whole bunch of grass and then of course some ferns as well. Then we flew over to a nearby river, and no, it was not just to go swimming. We do actually need some clay, which we will later smelt down into bricks. Heading back to the taiga next to the base, we spent way too long getting a lot of spruce. Don't think it'll be a surprise to anyone that we run out of spruce consistently. Once again back at the base, we are laying out and stripping down the newly collected wood, and along with that, we're also crafting it down into slabs and stairs and other wood items that we will be needing. Then spending way too long waiting for an amethyst to grow to its proper size. And last but not least, we headed over to the froglight farm, obviously to collect some froglights, but then realizing we did not have enough, so I headed up to the AFK platform and spent a few minutes there. Okay, we have AFK'd for about 20 minutes now, and I'm hoping that will be enough time to get the froglights we need. It really should be. Yeah, here we go. We have plenty. With that checked off, we actually have to head over to the savannah. Not that we actually need to be in the savannah, but it is the closest portal I have to the mesa biome, where we need to collect some white terracotta. So if we fly off in this direction, we should be heading to the mesa, not there. Yeah, there is a tiny mesa up here, which will hopefully have enough white terracotta. I don't think we need that much, so it should be all right. There it is. Like I mentioned, we do not need a lot of this stuff, so this should be plenty. And there we go. Stacking 10, that is all we will be needing. Now for the last material we will be needing for this build, and it's actually going to be on our way back to the base. We need to stop off at, well, one of these. We do have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ocean monuments in this ocean alone. Isn't that wild? But yeah, anyway, we need to stop off at one of these because we do need a little bit of prismarine. My dumbass while designing this was like, oh, this looks good for like this and that. Not at all thinking about how annoying it would be to get some prismarine. But then again, like I said, we just need to stop off at one, mine a couple blocks, and we should be fine. We do not need a lot of it. Here we go. There it is. Now, I don't remember exactly what we needed, but I think if we... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, the mining fatigue. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. That's not gonna work. 4 minutes? How am I gonna get milk? How am I gonna get milk? I'm in the middle of the ocean. Oh my god. Alright, I guess we'll have to head back to the base, drink some milk, and come back. At least we killed the fat dude now. Okay, give me one of these buckets. Give me some of your milk. Now let's bring one of these just in case. Oh, this is not the one where I killed him. Wait, yeah, it is. Or he needs to be gone. Where is this lad? Wait, but this is where I killed him because I broke in here. This is the same one. Is there another one? Oh, there he is. I found him. How do I get in there? Oh my god, are you kidding me? He's right here. Oh my god, it's it's 2 blocks thick. Come on. Haha, here you go, bitch. There you go. Big on thought. Now if I drink this, theoretically, should be fine. And I even checked how much I needed, and this is gonna be so stupid because I already have enough. I needed 3 of these prismarine. Yeah. Again? There's a third one. Oh my. Holy shit, man. Is there usually 3 Elder Guardians? This is ridiculous. Hey, you come here, you hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Hate you. Hate you. And I hate you. I have to wait 3.5 minutes. Fantastic. I don't have any milk. Oh, this is so stupid. Like I said, I don't even need like much of this at all. If I just come here and been able to mine right away, we would have been out of here in 30 seconds. Like I said, we need 3 of this prismarine and literally 10 of these to make them into slabs. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that 3. Oh, and of course you show up. Those 3.5 minutes or whatever felt like years. Oh, at last. Okay, that was hell of a ride, but at least we can now say we are 100% complete with collecting all of the materials, and they are all in these shulker boxes here. Now, since we are going to be building up here, I do want to pick all these up and move them over so we are a bit closer to where we will actually be building. Kicking this off with a front gate to the village. Here we are utilizing some of our packed mud and mud bricks, moving into the granite, polished granite and bricks. And especially by adding some of the mud in the bottom, it looks a little bit worn down, old, and as if it's been used for years. Next to this, we are building up a guardhouse of sorts. Being connected to the front gate, I imagine this is where the guards or soldiers would be. To connect these two up, we are also building a tower here in the middle. And finishing this area off with a nice lush forest behind the entire build. Now, this area is really starting to shape up. So as you saw from the replay, we added in the gate here, sort of a front gate kind of thing, just to separate the village from the rest of the area, and simply to solidify the village that's going to go along here as its own kind of thing and not just blend in with the rest of it. But as you also saw, we added in the, well, building here next to it. And this is supposed to be kind of like a, well, I guess gatehouse, or I guess guards that would be protecting the village. Not that this area is embedded in war or anything like that, but it kind of adds to the lore that at some point in time, this area did need protection from guards. Now I see it more of as a tradition, maybe, that they would have guards or soldiers here, and now just train more for the fun of it. Speaking of, this is the outside training area for the guards, and I do want to add in some more details to finish this off. Now also, first of all, back up here, there was something I missed earlier, which is a couple item frames where we're gonna add in a diamond sword as a, well, yeah, the weapon that they use, as well as a shield. Is it supposed to be that small? That looks unreasonably small. That's what she said. I also wanted to add a little armor stand here, which we might put armor on in the future. Then moving back down here, since this is a training area, there's a bunch of little details I want to add. For example, I already put the barrels in. This is kind of where they store their stuff, as if they have separate lockers. But also wanted to add some scaffolding to look more like some shelves or something like that. And just cap this off with some trap doors and a jungle one in the middle. Over here, I was thinking I would have a sign-up sheet of sorts, so that they can keep track of when they train and how much they've trained and stuff like that. And also next to that, I want to add an item frame with a black candle, sort of looking like a pen. It also looks a little bit like a mouse, like a computer mouse, but I choose to ignore that. Since they're training, they're going to be sweating and stuff, so of course they need a little water station as well, filling this cauldron with water and then putting in the bottles in the brewing stand, so it looks like there's actually something there. Over here, we're going to put up some support. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Then in the middle, a stone cutter. And this is basically a small station for them to sharpen their swords, which I added a fun detail. Obviously, there would be, what is it called, smolder coming off? Yeah, like, you know, when you sharpen the sword and it's like, and then the yellow orangey bits fly off. Yeah, I'm using resin to symbolize that and make it look, let me do that. But yeah, to look like there's some leftover like smolder on the floor. Thought that was pretty fun. And then last but not least, we have some armor stands over here as well, sort of to look like training dummies or something where they can slice their swords. And just like with the other armor stand, I will probably be putting armor on it at some point. Just couldn't really be bothered for now. Jumping straight back into the actual village, we are first laying out a path here that will reach all the way up to the top. Along the way, we are also adding in some cliffs, tearing down the terrain a bit to make some space, and of course getting rid of the old villager houses, as the ones we're putting in look a little bit better, in my opinion. With these elements in place, we can jump straight into building the actual houses of the lower street.
Walking along here is now way more fun, as this is really starting to shape up. Obviously, there are some imperfections. Okay, wait, I need to kill this sheep. This is driving me insane. Oh, I just built like for 3 hours with that sheep under there. Like, holy. As I was saying, obviously there are a couple imperfections, but this is because it is part of a bigger project down here, or not a bigger project per se. It is part of the village, but it is something I would like to do in one swoop, as it is a cliffside here along with the cliffside leading up here, and then another building that's supposed to connect up with this one here. And then of course a cliffside there as well. That house is not supposed to be just floating. So yeah, there are a couple things to fix up before we move on to the upper street. But before we do that, as you might have seen, we included some like flower fields here, or flower plantations if you will. And you might have noticed that one is missing as well. This is because just like in the last episode, we do not have any of the pitcher plants. It's quite early in the morning for me. I apologize. If you recall back to the last episode, we ran into the same issue where I did not have any pitcher plants and couldn't be bothered to go get them. I was supposed to have some here in between the lilacs, and now once again I have a field where I want to put them, but don't have any of the plants. So I want to finally fix that by finally getting a sniffer egg. And my brush is very damaged. How do you craft one of these again? What the fuck? No! Ooh, baby, give me one more chance to tell you that I love you. I want you back. Yeah. Okay, editing Twizzy here. What the fuck? What the hell am I doing? This was like, as I'm editing this, that was this morning, and I don't recall that. I feel like I was in a trance or something. I don't fully know what was going on there. I guess I hope you enjoyed my singing. Just what the fuck. All right, and to get to the sniffers, we need to dig up a sniffer egg, which are apparently either only found or at least a lot more common in the warm ocean biomes. So if we keep on heading out here, as you can see, this is lukewarm ocean. Oh, this is warm ocean. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we need to head to this one. As we make our way to our first of many underwater structures, hoping to find this stupid little egg, I thought I would sneak in one little shameless plug. If you have made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. And if you have been enjoying it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We are very close to 7,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping to reach the goal of 10K by the end of the year. If you really enjoy watching my videos, please consider becoming a member. This will give you stuff like exclusive videos, shoutouts, member-only live streams, as well as exclusive updates that no one else will see. Along with that, I even launched a Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can get all the schematics I have to all of the builds that you see in these videos, and all of the privileges I mentioned you would get as a member, you get there as well, along with a little bit extra. If any of this sounds appealing to you, and of course if you can afford it, I would hugely appreciate it. You'd really make my day. And of course it would help me get more of this content out, which I love making, and hopefully you guys like watching as well. Not to mention, if you become a patron, your name will pop up on screen every single video, and I'll be leaving the link to my Patreon in the description below. Once again, thank you so much if you do any of this. I certainly do not take it for granted.
Dude, seriously, you're a loser.
Jared, shut up. What are you doing here?
You have no integrity.
What are you...
How can you keep doing this?
No, that's it. Come here, Jared.
No, what? Oh.
Okay, let's see here. An iron axe. Lovely. I've been waiting for one of those. A wooden hoe? Ah, even better. If there was something I wanted more than the iron axe, oh man, we found it! I don't know why I'm already frustrated. It's I'm sorry. Like I said, it's very early in the morning. Oh, there's a bunch here. Bunch of little structures, mate. This is lovely. Where's all the sand? There's some. Oh, here's some more. A golden nugget? I don't want a golden nugget. Wheat, bruh. We don't like wheat. I mean, we do, but not from the sus sound. What is it with me and accents today? I have no idea. Oh, it was coal. I thought maybe it was the top of the sniffer egg. I doubted it, but like, there was a small chance. No, I got my hopes up. I'm just eating my breakfast. Dude, these... Why are all the fishing rods with curse of vanishing? Ridiculous. Oh, yes, that's one. Let's go. Smells interesting. Barrett. Alright, mateys, we only need to find one more sniffer egg so that we can breed them for infinite amounts of sniffers. Can't believe, how long have sniffers been out? I want to say 2018, but that's ridiculous. No, 1.18 as in the update. That's very possible. That might be it. 1.18 they came out? What was that, 2021, 22? Has it been 3 years since the sniffer came out? And I still don't have one? Oh, I broke one! Slut. Anyone want to be off work today? Oh, fuck yeah! Wooden hose can suck my dick. I have to take a shit. I'll be back. So many wooden hose, man. It's not even any other wooden tool. It's just wooden hose. Why specifically that? There doesn't seem to be a lot of these structures left in the warm ocean, so I need this to be it. Come on. Another emerald. Okay, double whammy here. Triple whammy. It's got to be in one of these. Come on. Iron axe. Pottery sherd. Come on. Come on. Come on, this might be the last sus sand in this little structure too. Might be the last sus sand in this entire warm ocean. I guess we head to the other warm ocean. That one's tiny though. Ooh. Oh, come on. This would be so beautiful. No way! Oh my god! Oh! In a structure I've already looted. Like, there was sand missing everything and I just missed this one piece and it... Oh, I got it. Let's go. All right, never mind. We don't even have to go to the other ocean. Sorry, stretching. Now we need somewhere to store these or I guess not store, they are living things. I guess the farming district would make sense, but for now we can just encase them here. Why not? And I've heard that if you grow them on, moss, they should hatch a bit faster. Come on, keep hatching. How long does this take? About 10 minutes on moss blocks. So 10 minutes. What can I do in 10 minutes?
This little thing can control my entire PC.
Oh my god. There's a sniffer in front of me. Hey buddy. Oh, two buddies. Hey guys. How we doing? Yeah? You liking it here so far? That was a nod, wasn't it? Are you sniffing his butt? Yeah, anyone else get really disturbed by the fact, like, obviously their eyes are on the side here, but looking at them head on, especially when he looks at me like that, it just looks like these are the eyes. That's the, I guess that is the mouth anyway. Yeah, it is, but like, almost like his mouth is stitched up and then the eyes are here. It looks really creepy. Looks like a pale yellow pumpkin. Okay. Wait, it takes 40 minutes for sniffers to grow up. Bro. Oh, hello. It is a little bit. Whoa. Oh. Torch farm stage. Let's go. I think I might do here next to the sheep farm, like a little plantation, which currently consists of only one seed. Oh, for real? You don't get the seed back. Oh no. Hold the phone. Right, I'm gonna need to like consistently farm these from the guys. Okay, here's the plan. For now, we're gonna scrap this and we're just gonna have to leave the pitcher plant pot thing empty for now. Pot? What did I say? Pot. The pitcher plant field where we're gonna plant there and the pitcher plants that we need up here, we're just gonna have to leave that for now like we did in the previous episodes. And then first thing, next episode, I promise we're gonna take care of this. We're gonna build a much bigger sniffer enclosure and then they will harvest a bunch of it. We'll have a automatic system of collecting it so that we'll have torch fleets, cool, torch flower seeds and the pitcher plant seeds as well. For now, I want to refocus on this as it is coming along pretty nicely. We are getting closer and closer to the end. This area up here, what I'm calling Upper Street, is the biggest part of the project, but it is also a little bit simpler to build because it's all pretty much on the same level rather than going up and down like we've been doing here. But before we jump into Upper Street, I think this area needs a little bit of love and attention. As you might be able to tell, it is not looking amazing at the moment. And like I mentioned earlier, we just want to put in some cliffs, another building here, and then of course the cliff here as well, just to tie this whole area together. But at the moment, these chests are kind of in the way. So I'm just going to move this over there somewhere, get it out of the way, and then we can get straight into it. With the chests out of the way, we can extend this path
to reach all the way over to the far side. Here we are also building up some cliffs. This first one has a little bit of a hole, like a cave entrance, that I plan on doing something with in the future. And we of course also have the cliff that connects it all the way up to the lower street of the village. Lastly, putting in some more of the paths, some foliage, leaves, flowers, then a little well and some storage here and there. And of course, last but not least, the actual building that connects to the other building up top. And the eyesore has been unsored. What's the opposite of sore? Lean? Comment down below what the opposite of sore is. Anyway, point is, this area is looking way better. It really needed this transformation, especially with the village just sitting on like a floating piece of land. Really didn't do it for me, so this is a lot better with the cliffs and the building here, tying it all together. I think it's looking great. Swiftly moving on to Upper Street, the final part of this project. First of all, I've moved the shulker mess from down there to up here to a much more convenient location. Before we do anything, we need to get rid of some of this terrain. Basically, all of this has to go down a few blocks. So let's get a beacon going so we can do this a little bit faster. I think if we put it somewhere here, it should be perfect. Now just using an iron ingot, we should be able to get a haste 2 here, and this will go by a lot quicker. Each edition is really bringing this place together. I really think we've done well with the smaller details all over the place. And this place just really feels alive altogether. Up the street here, we even did an interior for this house, which is a little cramped, but it is pretty cozy and quite a nice little interior. A little kitchen in here, and just down the stairs we have a bedroom as well, with some more of the chiseled bookshelves. Speaking of interiors, there are 2 quick ones I would like to knock out, which are just these 2 that have windows looking out on the street. I wanted something here so it's not just an empty room that you look into. I was supposed to have one here as well, but I got lazy, so I just put frog lights behind the window instead. Starting here with the first building by the gate, this is supposed to be sort of a clothing shop or a dye shop, which we have named Custom Cowl. Cowl being a form of helmet, I think. I don't know, I googled something when I thought of this name to like, you can customize your own clothes kind of thing. Here in the corner, we're going to add some barrels where we're also going to encase it with spruce trap doors, as this is going to be a changing room of sorts. But yeah, here we're also going to add a spruce door so you can change in private. Then here we're going to have a chain with a hanging sign that says changing room. Perfect. The schematic did it for me. As for this side, we're going to have a little bit of a counter displaying some of the dyes that you have to choose from. So we're going to add some stairs and trapdoors. Here we're also going to add some candles, but we will not be lighting these because they kind of look like dye sticks or something you use to dye the actual clothes. Along with that, we're going to have a little amethyst cluster here and then an item frame with a blue dye in it. Over here, we're going to add some coral just like we did outside to look like, yeah, the material you dye with or whatever, with some candles up top. Once again, don't worry, the block under is waterlogged, so this won't die. Then we're also going to add some armor stands, which once again, just like the armor stands I mentioned earlier, we have over by the gatehouse over here. We're also going to add some... All right. Yeah, but we're also going to add some clothes onto here, or leather armor that will probably dye as well for some different colors. And for the last detail, we're just going to add some shelves above the table up here. So we're going to use some beehives to look like cabinets of some sort, I guess, with just some campfires in between, which of course we are going to put out. And just like that, that is all for this interior. Quite simple, really. Quickly moving on to our other interior, which we will get done real quick as well. This is going to be sort of a potion shop. Yeah, we aptly named this Potion Power. I feel like that sort of speaks for itself. This interior is really quite simple as well. We're just going to add in a little table made out of tuff, the polished tuff stairs and the polished slabs. Then we're going to include a couple of brewing stands here and here, a barrel in the corner, and a piece of redstone on there. Over here, we're going to be growing some nether wart, as that is what you need for brewing potions. I mean, I guess you could grow a potion, I don't know. Then we're just going to include a couple of cauldrons in the corner, which I need water for, which I of course forgot, so give me 1 second. So we're going to fill these to the brim, but then we're actually going to, using the bottles, take a bit out to look like they've been in use and they've actually used the water for the potions and stuff like that. And now we're also going to take these and put them in the brewing stand to make it look like it's actually in use. Last detail, I want to add some item frames, and I got an assortment of a few different potions. One is actually just honey, but it does look like a potion. And I also got one of these ominous potions, a little bottle of enchanting, and a splash potion of wheat. fuck? Bro, come on. Are you serious? Oh, and I can't even find any other potions. I saw it coming as well. I was like, oh yeah, be careful. Let's not throw this potion. But I was like, it's fine. I'm reaching the item frames. It's all good. Yeah, it was not all good. Okay, plan B, you know what? They're selling glass bottles as well. There you go. Perfect. If you ever want a glass bottle to make your own potions or whatever, here you fucking go. Oh, that wraps up this interior, I guess. Looks amazing. Yeah, wow, cool, awesome. Yeah, fuck this game, man. Okay, on a happier note, now that we have completed these... Shut up. Completed these interiors, it is looking way better walking along the street. Just peering into something that's not just an empty room is really, really nice. And it really brings this area even more to life. Now, I guess we should just also do the other interiors. Nah. Instead, let's move on to the more fun stuff. I'm actually nearing 2,000 days. As you can see, we're on day 1,987. So day 2,000 is quickly approaching, and I really want to get this village done before that happens. But like I mentioned, we are in the final stretch, and we just need to build up a street, as I've been calling it, which is my favorite part of the project. This street really came out well, and it's just like the lower street we have down here, but here I think I nailed it even better with even more detail. But yeah, let me stop talking about it and let me instead show you. Let's get straight into it, shall we? To kick things off, we are using the same palette that we have been using for the entire path so far. We're extending that to the entire upper part of this, then moving straight into the front gate in order to separate this part from the rest of the village. And along with that, jumping over to the far side, we're building another sort of gatehouse with a really interesting grayscale palette. Connecting up to that, we have another gate of sorts that takes the path all the way over to the far side, to the upper part of the castle valley. And with this type of infrastructure in place, we can jump into the actual buildings of the upper street, starting with this first one here, then of course getting rid of the beacon to make room for this amazing build. This project has turned out even better than I would ever have imagined. Having this village at the base of the cliff here really brings the area together and fixed up an area of the world that really needed fixing. Being able to walk up here now with all of these beautiful views of the buildings above, rude, and reaching the cliff here where we get an incredible view of the rest of the world, the farming district from the last episode, the trading hall. Man, this is beautiful. Reaching to the newly built upper street, there's still a little bit of a mess, but even so, walking around here is so magical. The detail is really captured beautifully, and it's all just so alive and gorgeous. Another bit of a mess we need to clean up, but let's ignore it. This wraps up yet another project in the survival world. I want to thank you all so much for watching once again. We even managed to overshoot the 2,000 day mark. We are now on day 2010, meaning we kind of missed the celebration for the 2,000 day mark, but hey, at least we made it. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We are keeping up with a tighter schedule, getting more videos out than ever, and I hope to continue like this moving forward as well. One last time, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. Become a member if you really enjoyed. And don't forget to check out my new Patreon for some more exclusive content, all of these schematics, including this one right here. But for now, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace. Wow, I really can't stop looking at this. This looks so good. It really fixes up the entire area. What was once so ugly is just now all... it's so good. It is kind of ruined by the fact that there's this giant hole in the foreground. Great, now that's all I can think about. We're gonna have to fix this up as well, aren't we?